I'm not going to take it, then I'll be foolish. Everyone who contests, if you're going to rest to win. And precisely what I'm doing.
The election has not been normal. People's vote must count. The citizens' vote must count.
Yesterday on the 23rd of August and today on the 24th of August, Zimbabwe's polling stations have remained open after a chaotic poll, unprecedented, never seen before in Zimbabwe, where polling stations opened without ballot papers and people were missing their names from the voters' roll. Now this has been a tricky poll for many. And here, on this, The Free Talk, in proper partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation, we bring you a live update on what has been transpiring during these past 2 days. Now join me after this break on this, The Free Talk, in proper partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation for Freedom. Now welcome back to this, The Free Talk, in proper partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation for Freedom. And I, your host as usual, Dara Blessed Mhlanga. And we're going to be talking the elections, what has been happening so far in this election. And we're just going to give you insights and a bit of some updates on what has been happening as the polls were unfolding. Now, just before we go into what happened yesterday and what's been happening in the afternoon today, there's this Europhia in Mavuku and Cowdrey Park. They have taken internet by storm after the big spenders, the big spenders, Finance Minister, who's on his way out, Mthuli in Cowdrey Park, lost to Pasho Sibanda in Blawayo, and the gold man under the hashtag Munubo, Scot lost to a little known person in Mavuku. Now this is an amazing happening in the election, and internet has been awash with issues around Mavuku where Scot spent big. He looked at roads. He told people that he was fixing roads. He promised. He even promised to contribute for everyone towards everyone's funeral in the constituency. He even brought Mayweather in July. Mayweather could not sustain him in August. Now we'll take a look at that. But first of all, we just want to see what Mthuli said a few months before the election. He was so confident. He has been beaten.
In Cowdrey Park, there is no contest. Trust me. I was unbeatable here. Anyone who thought they would beat me, I think they are daydreaming. The people of Scot appreciate everything I have done. Even those who were skeptical before I came in, 2 months into the campaign, and to seeing what I'm able to do. And I haven't even started. We're going to build, colleges here, build more schools here, fix the sewer system, build an industrial park.
So earlier this afternoon, we caught up with the winning candidate for Mavuku, and we also caught up with the winning candidate of Kasukuwere Park, and they gave us their views and what they thought really happened in this election. Let's take a listen.
No, I think I saw it coming because I didn't expect much, because I know I was going to win. Because basically I explained to some of the colleagues that basically in urban setups, people are fed up with this regime, people are fed up with ZANU-PF. So we really understand that we are the next government, we are the next option. So we are the government in waiting. So people really thought, and people is to, in our own view, we believe that Triple C is the next government. So I know people are fed up, so this is the next option. So basically I know the people in Mavuku will never vote for ZANU-PF again.
How did the residents of Mavuku take this news?
Pardon?
I'm saying how do the residents of Mavuku take this news that you've won this seat to the National Assembly?
No, they're quite happy. Since morning they have been flocking into my place, they are coming to congratulate me, coming with congratulatory messages. So they really appreciate it. They've been all waiting for this, because I've been working in this community, I think, for the past 15 years as a councillor. I attained my position as an alderman after serving for 10 consecutive years. So I've been in the community, I know how to engage my community well. Maybe I thought maybe you got a wrong narrative, because these other guys from the other side of they were campaigning, they are giving false report. In one of the instances I heard that social media was awash with the news that is the one who did the resurfacing and reconstruction of 3 main roads, which link Mavuku and Tafara. That is Mavuku Tafara Way, Donbrook Way and Sinin Road. That's a false. He was lying. If you go here, just as you pass through Mthuli service station, if you turn right, then if you proceed in the next intersection, you check at your right side, there's a gantry sign, a billboard, which is clear written, that these roads are fully funded by Zinara and the Ministry of Finance. The same gantry sign is also at Mavuku. There are 2 of them, and if you go around Zimbabwe, those gantry signs, the same gantry signs, they are there written the same, roads funded by Zinara and the Ministry of Finance, and you can even see that those roads have already been resurfaced or reconstructed. So in this instance, he was lying during his campaign period that he is the one who funded it, but that I thought it was a real punishment, because people in Mavuku really know that he was lying through his teeth. You can just imagine someone who can even go attend the church service on Sunday, lying before the podium that he is the one who is doing that. So I believe God did it for a purpose. He was punished for that lie. Residents of Mavuku, we don't want to promise people a pork in the pie, in the air. So what I believe in, we need them to deal with the real issues. I understand in Mavuku we have been facing a number of issues. One of them, which is key amongst other things, is the perennial shortage of potable water, clean water. I understand this solution will be solved permanently by the construction of the 3 major dams which are in the Eastern District, that is Kunzi, Muda and Usamitia. Those dams, I think, will benefit us in the Eastern District, because they will be supplying part of Goromonzi, the Damafos. Currently, there's Caledonia, a new settlement there, and also Mavuku Tafara will be the major beneficiary, because we are also closer to the source, rather than the Morton Jeffrey, which was created long back in the 60s, which is far away, and the pumping capacity and the production capacity is way less than demand, because as you understand that there are a number of housing projects which have sprouted over the period of years. So we believe this new water source construction will then alleviate the water challenges which we face in Mavuku. So Parliament elect, I will be then pushing in Parliament and pushing the government so that they take this project seriously, rather than to take it as a campaign to use towards each and every election. So we believe we need to push this and take government to task so that these water bodies are then constructed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, people of Kasukuwere Park, people of Bulawayo and Zimbabwe as a large. My name is Pasho Rafael Wagosfanda, the incoming Member of Parliament for Couch Park constituency. In terms of the V11 forms that we have for all the 43 polling stations in Couch Park, we have won the election for Member of Parliament in Couch Park. We're just waiting for ZEC to put the V23 forms and confirm my election. We are very excited. Like we've always said, that we want to win Zimbabwe for everyone, and we are very much certain that as the incoming government led by President Chamisa, we're going to make sure that we deliver for everyone, not for the few. And I want to encourage Zimbabweans across the country, those that are still waiting for the votes, that let's make sure we stay at the polling stations. Let's make sure we demand our votes and defend the vote. Victory is certain. We've done it here in Couch Park. We've done it across all the 12 constituencies in Bulawayo when it was not fashionable to do so. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Zimbabwe. I'm Councillor Donaldson Mabuto, the councillor-elect for Ward 9 in Popoma, where I polled 5,862 against ZANU-PF of 1,306. I'm very excited with the response of the citizen and the trust which the people of Popoma have given me to give me another fresh mandate to lead. Yes, we had a lot of skirmishes, delays in the opening of polling stations, but against all odds we managed to sail through. My encouragement is that in areas where the process is still pending, let's remain at the polling stations. Let's protect the vote. Let us not leave the polling stations, because that's where a lot of shenanigans happen. The regime is panicking. They have already pressed the panic button. You saw it on the election day where they threw flyers that there is no voting. So it's a sign of defeat. It's a sign that they have admitted that they have been defeated. And above all, we want to give honor and thanks to the Almighty God, the Creator, for giving us strength, for guiding us, for His amazing grace to triumph to victory. Thank you.
Councillor Omele ibandla lethupusi lokho kilo advocate nesentshamisa oqala ngithanda ukubonga uMakhokhoba isizinda Chabalala extension Donkro Westgate Railton ngokungethemba ngokuvotela. Ngiyabonga Ward 7, ngiyabonga Makhokhoba, ngithemba sizasebenzani sonke kahle. Sibonge namavoti kaNicola Watson MP wethu lo babo advocate Chamisa. Siyananzela ukuthi endaweni eziningi vele siyakhokhela laba abangaqedi abalokho besabala sicela ukuthi lihlale lilinde ingapheli inhliziyo ngoba siyanqoba. Victory is certain. Let's guard our vote.
In Mount Pleasant, firebrand and outspoken politician Fadzai Mahere has taken the seat. Now, she had problems early in the morning when the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission was sort of wrangling with her in terms of releasing the results. Now, a polling agent had actually signed V11 forms before. Polling agents had actually signed V11 forms, right? And ZEC was refusing to release them. And she was on the ground demanding that the results be released and be pasted outside the polling station. Now, we talked to Fadzai Mahere. We also spoke to Joanna Mamombe, who is in Harare West, and her constituency did not vote yesterday, and it was extended for voting today, and we hear some of the issues that she raised.
Presiding officers who indicated that they had more postal ballots in their possession than they had recorded in their books. Of course, we were extremely concerned with this. We cannot allow another 2013 postal ballot stuffing. So our polling agents have remained in situ and alert. We said no, so long as a postal ballot is not accounted for in the book, we don't want to sign for it as a V11. The V11s that we'd already signed for, there should be no corrections. They were insisting that no, we need to make extra corrections. It's really a rigging ploy. But what we've said as a constituency is that we have to stop the rigging before it happens. And so we've insisted on all our polling agents are still in their polling stations. I think we've got about 8 V11s of the 13 that are outstanding. We've managed to obtain 5 by mounting pressure. We put pressure on the police officers, pressure on the ZEC officers. Sometimes we're told, no, the presiding officer is going to take a bath. No, they're waiting for the ward ZEC officers. They're waiting for superiors. Other senior ZEC officials came. Other police officers and soldiers came. But the bottom line is that as Mount Pleasant constituency, we're going to leave no stone unturned in our quest to ensure that we defend the vote. All the agents you see here, all the citizens are waiting to see what the result is outside the polling station. All the other areas throughout the constituency have completed their count. We've got the V11, so we want to just get the outstanding ones here so that we can ensure that we've got our own PVT, our parallel voter tabulation, also that we've defended the vote and that whatever vote is reflected, we don't have any stuffing either at presidential level, at National Assembly level, or at council.
Takavota nezuro ini ndakavotera panapa. I wanted to know kuti pati yangu yandirofarira inini kuti yakamira sei, kana kuti ndiyo iri kutungamira here kana kuti kwete. Saka panapa hapana total votes. Vari kutotaura kuti unotoenda kuzengeza 3 kuschool high ndoko unowana maresults chaiwo. Saka inini I want to know chete polling station yepanapa kuti party yangu yakamira sei, comparing the two parties, ZANU-PF and Triple C. Ndozo zvandaida kundinzwisise. Saka ndaida kutoedha numbers kuti ndione kuti panapa patine total votes dzakamira sei, comparing the two parties kuti ZANU-PF iri pamberi here kana kuti Triple C ndo iri pamberi. Ndozo zvandaida kundiziva. And plus rungorenga social media kuti ndatonzwa kuti kune places like Marondera, it has been taken over by Triple C. Mbare yawinwa neZANU-PF. Epworth North hanzi yawinwa neZANU-PF.
Ndonzi Clever Mtanda, presiding officer Park 7 GA. Takatanga kurejista nezulo na 4:20 kumanheru zvarovira. Then unfortunately ballot papers atakapuwa councillors not local authority or local councillors akapera. Saka we had to stop around 6:30. Zvaingosiyana nokuti imwe station yapedza nguva imwe yangati fast yakakasira kupedza. For us takapedza na 6 o'clock ndipo tafara as per instruction. Tafara we waiting throughout the evening pamwe tichapiwa mabhuku but hazvinokwanisika. Tatazopuwa mabhuku makuseni around 5. Tatazopuwa instruction yekuti tikuvhura na 7 AM makuseni nhasi tozovhara na 3 PM masikati. But panyaya yeatmosphere nezvo vanhu vakawandisa vanhu ende vazhinji vacho vatorara paqueue. Tofuna makatarisa pane macheza akangowanda kuti vanhu vanga vakagara pasi vanoita nokumira. But the environment was very calm. Hapana kumboradzana kanoise. Vanhu vakanga vari very patient vachimirira kuti vazowana mukana wokuvhota. Pane varara paqueue patavhura na 7 pamboita kapressure mbichani. But zvinezvi vanhu vakuuya vachienda otherwise hapasina maqueue. But in terms of environment very conducive and very calm.
Okay, makatarisa namba yevanhu vavhota so far iri kuenda nawo here nenhamba yevanhu vanga vakamira pamutsetse nezuro makuseni maballot papers asati asvika?
Totarisa sokudaro because isisu pataka makuseni vanhu vakamirira vanhu vazhinji vakauya makuseni vakamira kusvika na 4:20 because vanoramba vachingowanda. Patikazobreakawo nhamba yatakasiya iripo nezuro neyatazoverenga kuseni almost like the same. zvangosiyana mapolling station because panapa tine 6 mapolling stations saka imwe polling station inogona yaitawo -5 or -10 but imwe inogona yaita +5 +10 saka zvaingoende vanhu vachirungouya saka totarisa kuti vanhu vakauya nezuro vese I think they are coming to vote and all they have voted.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It's not tender.
Currently, one of the superiors from ZEC has come and we engaged her. We said, look, we insist on the correct V11 being released. So she's here. Our polling agents are there. They're just signing for it. They said they needed extra copies because they ran out of stationery. We said, no, get your stationery, but we want the correct results reflected. So we're waiting for them to do that. As soon as we get all 13 V11s, our polling agents will be discharged and then we'll go back to our command center and then do our own tabulation and see where we stand as a constituency. I think President Chamisa has been very clear that the citizens are winning despite the odds. We saw all the voter suppression that they tried yesterday. Every single polling station in this constituency opened late. They didn't have enough polling material. A lot of them didn't even have the correct ballot paper or enough ballot papers. We even saw delays with even just the administration on the part of ZEC, delays in the counting. Throughout the country, we saw that they continued to run out of council ballots. There were errors. And so all of this points to a situation where we were prepared. Our citizens, our supporters were mobilized and ready to come out to vote. Some came out as early as 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. The queues had already swelled. It's ZEC that wasn't prepared. And in our press briefings prior to the election, this is the concern we repeatedly raised. We said ZEC is not yet prepared. ZEC has a constitutional obligation to ensure that it's ready. And now our demand is for, a credible results announcement, results management system as we go towards the count so that everything is done in a manner. Of course, the playing field is tilted. I think any objective person can see that the freeness and fairness, credibility and verifiability of the election were called into question, but citizens showed up nonetheless. In a lot of constituencies, we've won despite vote buying, despite electoral malpractices, despite manipulation by ZANU-PF and ZEC. We saw FAZs everywhere. You see FAZ agents, FAZ observers, left, right and center, but citizens refuse to be intimidated. And that's the way it should be. That's the only way you can take hold of democracy. That's the only way we can demand for respect to the will of the people.
My name is Joanna Mamombe. I'm also a candidate for the parliamentary seat here in Harare West constituency. So what happened yesterday is, as you know, Harare West has 2 wards. We have Ward 41, we also have Ward 16. So in Ward 16, because our elections, they are ward-based. So Ward 16, we did not commence our polls because ZEC was claiming that they did not have the ballot paper for the local authority candidates. So this is what delayed the whole process in Harare West constituency under Ward 16. So in Ward 16, we have 21 polling stations. This means that all the 21 polling stations were affected by this late distribution of the local authority candidates. So we received the local authority ballot papers around 4 o'clock yesterday, and there were just few. So each polling station received 5 booklets, and as you know, each booklet only has 50 ballot papers to make them 250 total. So it means that every polling station had a maximum of 250 ballot papers for local authority. So, and as you know that some of the polling stations, they have more than 500 registered voters per polling station. Some have even 920 registered voters. So this is what delayed our processes yesterday. So after that, the polls were stopped until today morning because the ballot papers were received this morning around 4 a.m. So we only commenced voting at 7 a.m. and we are finishing today around 4 p.m.
I guess you are frustrated by this process.
We are very much frustrated by the way ZEC has conducted these elections because honestly speaking, just before 23rd of August yesterday, ZEC came out in open to say that they were prepared to run the harmonized elections, and only to claim that they are printing the ballot papers for the local authority on the day of polling. That is very, very unfortunate. And for me, and also, the people that I represent, as well as the party that I represent, I personally feel that ZEC was playing hide and seek with us. Even the time that they brought in the 250, it was better to just tell the citizens to say, you know what, go back home, come back tomorrow. We have our elections tomorrow from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. than to bring just a little ballot papers. Then they make people wait without even communicating. We had presiding officers in all these 21 polling stations. They didn't even have information of what was happening. They did not even have a time frame of when the ballot papers were coming in. So we were all frustrated. But the good thing is the citizens are geared up. The citizens, they are hungry for change. They are tired. They are looking into a new Zimbabwe that is, about to come. So this is what actually encourages us also as candidates. And it's actually very inspiring to see young women, to see young people, our elderly, spending nights at polling station, camping just to wait to cast their votes. So this is what happened in Ward 16 under Harare West constituency. Then, of course, in the morning, maybe I should just report this. So the polls started today, but we have faced serious challenges with the commission. Why? One, we do not have a consolidated voters roll, to the extent that people are being turned away from their polling stations without being redirected to the specific polling stations where they're supposed to go and cast their votes. So we have a situation whereby people are bringing in the voter registration slips, but they are denied access to vote. And as you know, those slips, they're a property of ZEC. But unfortunately, they are refusing them. They're denying them access to vote. That's number one. Number two, we are also using the USSD code, the *265#. The residents, they have evidence that they are registered voters, but still they're being denied access. Here's the interesting part. Now there's a certain group of people who are coming in with the different polling stations here in Ward 16. They have a specific number, like a calling number that they are calling, then they are allowed to vote. So you go and give the phone to the presiding officer and you tell them you have spoken to someone who is being alleged that they are manning the BVR center where you have to confirm your name. So this is what we are contesting in all the polling stations, to say, how do you deny someone who has a voter registration slip and allow a person who only has a phone number with someone that we don't even know? We don't even know where this BVR center is. We don't know who is manning it. We do not have polling agents there. So we have contested that, and we have said we are putting ZEC to task. We are engaging even the CEO in this constituency to say we can't allow somebody who is not in the physical voters roll to cast their vote because they have called someone who is manning a BVR center. So this is the situation that we have. Is Ward 41 that managed to cast their votes on time yesterday. So they finished counting in their different polling stations, but the V11s are being posted now to the Ward Command Center. So we are waiting to hear information from the Ward Command Center for Ward 41, which is Avon Lee Primary School. So they haven't, I haven't really gotten enough information in terms of where they are as of now. Thank you.
So there were a lot of problems during the elections. And as I went, I was part of those people who voted, and my ward, my polling station is in Bizo at Chana, right? So I went there and tried to cast my vote. I went outside the polling station, looked for my name on the voters' roll that was displayed outside. The name was not there. But when I checked during the voter inspection, I was told that Chana B is my polling station, right? So I went there, I looked at the voters' roll that was outside, my name was not there. I then went inside, handed over my ID, and my name was in the voters' roll. But before I went inside, I had gone to 3 other polling stations trying to locate my name. Now, this is the frustration that most voters, many voters in urban areas faced during this voting period. And many of them were so frustrated that they went home without casting their ballots. But these are the problems that they faced, and we here we managed to talk to some of the voters and some of the candidates, and this is what they had to say about the challenges.
What? For the reason that my name was registered, the place where I was supposed to vote is Tenwood. That's where I was supposed to vote. So initially I was told I was going to vote here, from here, but my name has been changed to Tenwood. Apparently Tenwood is already closed. So I'm disgruntled because I haven't been able to exercise my.
But you registered to vote?
Yes, I registered to vote, and initially they told me that I'm going to vote from here. But to my surprise, when we phoned on the phone, they said you were supposed to go and vote from Tenwood High.
Okay.
And they are closed already.
Okay. So what's your general comment about the work which is being done by Zimbabwe Electoral Commission? From yesterday, we saw a huge number of people here, and you also didn't vote. What's your general comment about the Zimbabwe?
I would say it's disorganized, and it gives a lot of voters maybe the sense that there's no reason to go to vote. Because if you come and you're not able to vote, if you go back, you will not come back again. Because you are not so sure if what you want to do, you're going to do it.
So you're not happy?
I'm not happy.
Yeah, I want you to say.
Yes, I'm not happy because I have not exercised my rights.
Okay, thanks.
My name is Shakespeare Amauswa. I'm a candidate for Member of Parliament for Warren Park constituency. We are just arriving here.
Which party?
Triple C.
Alright.
Yeah, we just arrived here 5 minutes ago. We came here to address an issue where our election agents were chased away from the area where or closer to the tents that you are seeing there. The police officer who is in charge only allowed one agent for each candidate inside, which is okay, which is according to the law. But what is shocking us is that then they said they are not supposed to be around this polling center. Then they were chased away from the polling center, something that is not within the law. This is why we came here to ask them, why are you chasing our election agents from this area? And we were comparing with a situation where some fuzz, the officers were actually putting their tables closer to the election center, but they were not chased away. And chasing our election agents is not something that we expected from the police officers. We expected police officers to be protecting our election agents. They will feel protected, but if they are being chased away, even without informing us, they are exposing them because they are dealing with an election issue, and an election issue is a security issue. This is why the police officers are here. So this is the issue that we came to address. After engaging with the police officers, then they accepted that they can come closer, but initially we were not happy with the situation, and we were also not happy with the way the police officer who is in charge responded to us. That's the issue.
Did they clarify the reasons why they are chasing away this?
They just said they only allow one person inside, but there was no reason, tangible reason, why they were not supposed to be closer to the polling tents.
Okay, thank you so much.
My name is Tabazo Machiro. I'm a local authority candidate for Ward 15, Warren Park constituency. I'm here to investigate why our agents have been chased away from the police station by the police who are manning this place. This is not the first time we had issues with agents. Yesterday, some of agents were accredited 30 minutes, some an hour, some an hour and a half after polling started. Yet we submitted our names to ZEC, but when the list of agents came to all the police stations, did what? The only Triple C agents, names were not on the list of agents. They accredited agents for all the other parties except Triple C. And we are suspecting that something fishy is happening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so how was the voting process?
It was hectic. I was here early in the morning yesterday. I didn't manage to vote. We only got to learn that the ballot papers were here at 16:20, around 16:20. So I waited in the queue, and around 1900, we were told that the ballot papers were finished, and we waited until around 9 p.m. So I didn't manage to vote yesterday. I ended up going home. I only learned that a lot of voter came today in the morning. So I'm here now and I just voted.
Okay, thank you. So how was the voting process?
Good. Compared to Nezulu, kusvika utobetserwa mapepa pamunoona unozoona Triple C ane 2 shauti chini but
as a first-time voter, my experience was terrible. I was shocked with what happened yesterday. I thought when I woke up early in the morning, I was just going to come here and vote and go home early. But when I came here, there were no ballot papers. We had to wait up until 4 p.m. And then they came, the papers, we were crowded over there. Then voting commenced. But almost after 3 hours, the ballot papers were finished and we had to wait again there. So yesterday I had to leave here around 1 a.m. waiting for the papers. I gave up. As we were told, the voting will commence again the following day. So we're back here today again. And during the course of the waiting, there were no updates. We just told ballot papers will be coming. No time frame, no nothing whatsoever. And it was just a bad experience. We were cold there. We had to go back home, get blankets, get some supplies, and just sit over there. It was terrible. It was a terrible experience for me as a first-time voter. So yeah, that is all I have to say for me.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, we went through a lot. We were happy yesterday. We were excited that we are going to vote. But hatina kuzoita saizvozvo because tese takauya sechaunga. But look at us today, tiri vanhu vashoma ende vamwe vanhu vatoenda kumabasa, vamwe vanhu vakatorara vane hope because vakatadza kufuta nezuro. Saka we are not happy. Tangovhota zvedu zvokungoti. But to me, ndakabvira kudhara ndichivhota, ndakabvira kutanga kuvhota 1980 hatisati taona vhota here. Because I'm a voter, ndichimboidwa inini. It's not my first time ekuvhota. Ndakambovhota but not like this. You don't expect this in 2020. And kuma 1980 takavhota zvakanaka. Kusati kwane technology, kusati kwane chii. We don't expect this in 2020.
Okay, I'm coming from voting and it was okay, but the problem is it delayed. I was supposed to have voted yesterday, but the ballot papers were not here. So it was a disappointment to the community and to the country at large. So I have voted and now I'm going home after I look strong.
Okay.
Ndakambouya ndakatozobva panapa ma9 sinzi mapepa apera, saka ndikatoti hino saka zvaramba zvokuvhota. Saka ndazongonzwawo kuseni kuti mapepa auya, saka ndazoya nguva dzinedzi. Asi nezuva racho ndandamboekana kuti sei mapepa achizopera, nokuti vamwe vangu vakazodzokawo akagara pano atozobva kuma11 dzeusiku. Vangu vachindudza kuti mapepa asati auya. Saka ndotenda kuti ndazovhota.
Alright.
Manheru koma 6 apakawandwa. I was hoping kuti ndichadzoka after manheru but nokuneta ndina kukwanisa kudzoka. Saka nhasi ndopandazonzwa kuti no mapapers akapera. Saka mama azoya nhasi. Saka takwanisa kuuya tichizovhota.
Okay, thank you.
It feels good to have voted, but
the time it has taken from yesterday. We slept here only to vote. It's not good, and we don't allow that as citizens to have us wait for a day. ZEC said they are well prepared. They are prepared for the election, but they didn't give us voters rolls. There were no ballot papers. The whole of yesterday, they came around 4:30, around 7 they were done. There were no more papers, and they came today around 4:30 a.m. We cannot allow that.
So, are you frustrated?
Yes, very much frustrated, and many others. Because the effect of this is to say, a lot of people came yesterday, coming from far to come and vote at this polling station. They are no longer here, and they never come back. Which means the effect is to reduce numbers. And the numbers of people who were supposed to vote are no longer voting because of that. Some people came from far away places, and they are nowhere to be found right now.
Okay, yeah, so just came from voting. But the experience here was a bit tiresome, I can say. Because Nezuro tanga trip yesterday, I think from around, was it Kuma 7 in the morning? We came in the morning and we couldn't vote until say around 2, was it? Around 4. Lupatanga voted for the first time, right? That's some much hours later. So by that time, I even got tired and went back home because I couldn't keep voting and I couldn't vote anymore. And then only came back later, say around 10ish there about Manero. Painzi, the ballots are there. They were talking about the ballots not being there, which I'm not too sure of. And then that's over at 2 a.m. and still to vote. But it's voters we do without any hassle. Yeah. There was no much hassle today. Today it was just simply going and voting.
Thank you.
That's what I can say about my voting experience. But it wasn't really that amazing. Yeah, it took so much of our time. It was fun and getting out, but I couldn't go to work today because I had to vote. Yeah.
Thank you.
Told me to stay. Hello, afternoon. I've just cast my vote now on the 24th. As of yesterday when we came, there was no material up to until around I can't remember what time like they brought in material here, but it's just today I came in the morning to cast my vote. The process was just smooth, no queue, just got in and voted smoothly.
Thank you.
That's
Pahate park techiti tivote tikurumidze kuende kubasa titori ningire tofana kunge nditori pabasa so ndochinjawo mumwe aende kovhota. But now up to now takagara apana uri kutipe information yokuti why it has taken too long kusvikira pane dzino nguva. Vari kungukabvunza vari kungoti ningirikeni sorry. Up to now hatina ningirikeni munhu watipe chikonzero chokuti why election yechisvika nguva ino isati yaitwa apa vana Priscilla Chigumba vanota kuti everything is in order takagadzirisa. Asi zvinezvi taakuda kuti tiningire ponzi vamwe vari kuti hapana mapepa ari kuuya kubve kuseni ari kubve kuBite Bridge remapepa. And why is it ningirini kuti zvitori nguva yakadai pasina mapepa? Imwe chitaura kuti takatopedzera kuti election iitwe zvakanaka. Right, zvinezvi apa vanhu vopopota apo. Ameno mupurisa wangu taurawo zvaataura ipapo kuti ningirikini wenyu kansela wenyu wauya pano. Saka vanhu vobvunza kuti tina kansela here isusu. Kansela uri kutaura kuti kansela wauya pano. Hatina kansela isusu. Tangowe kuti tivote. Izvi zvakutaura zvokuti kansela wenyu auya pano and so forth. Saka ndo zvadii. Saka vanhu nemaonero uri kuona vari kungounze soko kugovernment kuti havadi kudyiwa. Zviri kuitwa izvi inyaya yokutsvage kuriga kwakachenjera. Kusina kuchenjera chaiko asi kwakapusa nokuti vanhu vatozviona. Asi vanhu vane shungu kuti tadisfranchiswa why takanganisei nenyaya yekuti mumwe munhu haadi kubva pachigaro zvinobuda here ngavaito a credible election kuti zviite zvakanaka saka inyika dzimwe dzozokomplaina zvayo kuti no it's always disputed election ndizvo izvi ungaramba here kuti yaitwe disputed kana pakadai kuti vanhu vasvika na 5 o'clock up to now hapana ndiani uchada kuzosvika na 12 o'clock ari mudaini apa obva pano unofamba nousiku echiende kukumba zvinobuda here nguva ya 23 past nguva iye zvine zvanditi 23 past 2 kubve kusaini ndiripa mutoona kuti unzika wasadza nemuzukuru kutoziva kuti no pakatoipa saka ndo dambudziko riripo nyaya ingoripo to the people nevanhu vese vari kuona vari kungoise kugovernment kuti havadi kudyiwa vanongotsvage every dirty trick yokuwine ma-elections saka vanhu ava vese vari kungoona kuti no kujutwa kwataitwa pano kuti ingonzi havana kuningirikina paitwa election pongovhota dzimwe nguva zvokuzosvika usiku izvo panozongovhota 10 or so pakavhota 50 vanototi ano pakavhota 50.
Thank you so much.
Vanhu vato disfranchise
Elizabeth Sharai chaurai chichu problem handeiko
isusu toya panapa na 7 am tichida kuti tivhote. We have been in line kuseri uko for a very long time saka tamira tazonzwa kuma 9 kuti hanzi all is not well mukati hanzi mapepa asati auya saka nanhasi takangomira mapepa asati auya tatomboenda kumba tikanodya tikadzoka we are now here we are still in the same position. Nothing has changed.
Thank you.
We really want to vote kasi ndao sila hakuna kwatiri kungoenda sizalalala. Are they going to count our hours? The hours they are too much now. Because we have been here totally voting elsewhere started at 7. Here we are at what time is it? If it's 2, then that means how many hours? 5 or 6 hours. We need those 6 hours to be extended on our voting schedule. Because it would be very unfair to vote in 5 hours. Because it won't happen. Please tell the powers that be that we are waiting to vote.
Polling station yepa Hague Park primary school. Kugara nekugara ndo patinongovhotera panapa. Handiti nguva dzedu 7 to 7. Zvino tasvika pano na 6 isu machembere makumba anorwadza aya. Tiri machembere. Tasimukira kuti tuuye tivhote tizoisa zvido zvedu. Zvino nanhasi hazvisati. Zvarevei?
Vari kuti chii?
Hapana ari kumbotaura chinhu. Hapana ari kutaura chinhu. Tangofuma tichiona mapepa akati kata kwesoko kuti kandira mapepa ekuti hakusisina muchiregerai kuenda kunovhota. Zvinorevei izvozvo? Imi makati musi wa23 vote. 23 vote munhu ovhotera zvaanoda. Handiti ndozvatanga takatarisira. Zvino izvi dzangu vai. Tabva pano na 6 tiri pano. Izvi dzangu zviri kungonzi panambouya achiti vapadhuze kusvika. Vapadhuze kusvika. Tiri kungonzwa mamwe mapolling station ari mumadhuze zvichinzi vari kuvhota. Isusu pano takangogara. Zvino tiri kuzogara kusvikira zvanaka. Kusvikira tavhota, tataura zvatiri kuda. Taneta. Munhu ngaataure zviri pamwoyo pake. 43 years tinamboona chati zvese zvakangodhakwa zvikutoita wese. Nhasi magetsi azouya nekupamusana pekuti kwakuuya election. Takunzwira tsitsi vana vedu. School fees chii vapera nekungomwa kambwa ikakaka. Hapana anoenda kubasa. Isusu taiti tichipedza standard 6 takutoenda kunosenza kubasa. School fees yeform 1 unotenge watova nayo. Ezvinezvi hapasisina. Toda kumbochinja tiisewo zvido zvedu tiwombonzwawo zvinyowani. Hatisi kuenda
riri panapa takamira tauya na5 kubva kudzimba tasvika panapa kwakasviba kuti tsva. Takanzwa mumaredhiyo muchiadvertiswa kuti 7 to 7. so isusu tine shuga machembere tamukira kuti tivhote tidzokere kunodya, asi hapana till now, hapana chatichauya. Kunonzi mapepa haapo, mapepa anonzi haapo sei, iko kuchinzi mapepa anofanirwa kuuya 48 hours before. Saka nhasi anosvika nguva inei 3 o'clock asati auya. Chirudzii election here kana kuti mangoti tisangane timboonana? No election, declare it no election. Hakuna election yakadai. Since takabvira kuvhota tachembera tachena kudai musoro, hatina kumboona election inovhotwa before 6, after 6 kuti mapapers anonzi anouya na 5 o'clock zuva rodoka, asati ambozviona. Nyangwe former president wedu Mugabe waiyapo taivhota zvakanaka. Aiyeyo maopposition party iwayo echidyiwa zvakadaro. Saka izvi zvinoba zvaratidza kuti hai mwaomerwa musharuka, mwaomerwa Munangagwa, musadaro, mwaomerwa. This is the truth. Tataura, this is the truth. Maomerwa kutsvaga chese nechese. Ushe madzoro hazvina basa. Kana vanhu vataura, kana vanhu vataura, accept wozvinotaura vanhu, bvumaiwo. Kwete kuti munhu unganzi kana anyari musikana ungamuda here kuti ndide uchirohwa, ndide wechindirova, ndoda kuti ndikurore uchindirova, kwakuti ndinoda kuda kwakugara newe mumba. Zvinoita here? Ndozvamuri kuita izvi kuti manikidza zvatisisiri kuda. Atichadi, regai titaure chokwadi pamberi paMwari achivanzikwama. Atichadi, toda free and fair. Hazvisiri fair. Tangouya kusangana, tichazouya hedu kuma-election, not now. Bye bye.
7 a.m. Up to now at vote. I thought these were free and fair elections where we would exercise our right, could tell our right as citizens of Zimbabwe for the change of the nation. But up to now, as you can see, even if you check around you, people are just frustrated. We don't know what to do anymore. So I don't know if we are still a democratic nation where we express our rights and everything. So if you can check right now, it's 3:20. We need a change. We need to go. We need to have meaningful careers. Personally, certificate, it's just bad. We need change. So we hope we are going to vote today and we want to vote.
Thank you so much.
But it must be fair. From 6 o'clock up to yes. What the ballot paper banner for what? For the white.
Tauya makuseni na 6 a.m. Chiti tivote asina nhasi takangomira takangogara. Hapana zviri kuitika zvingonzi mapepa ashaipa. Kubva 5 years dzakagadzirwa election nanhasi zviri kungonzi mapepa hapana. Hambenoti zeki yacho inozvida sei, hatizive kuti vanozvifambisa sei, kuti ndivo vakatipa date, vakatipa netime, but now hapana chatomboitika. Takangomira taneta, but hatimboende kumba nekuti tiri kuziva zvatiri kuda shando. We need change country medu. Saka hatitomboenda.
My name Dinonzi Kumirai Kusha, and then the voting for the first time, it was chaotic and unorganized, and then there were no papers for so many hours, and then Batambo Mira, then Bataina by then Kuma 5 Topazoya my papers at the side, and then Kuma 7 one Batango voter, and then Banango Shika Vandazo voter. They organized Vanango Hizoti parudi amapepa mangani but vanhu vangu vachingoprinta limited papers singamake sense. But then ndazovhota.
Okay. Wakabva kuno kunguva ine zero?
Kuma 10-11.
Okay. Vaiti chii?
Mapepa anga apera.
Alright. Wakanzwa sei usina kuvhota kune zero?
Nachingobva ndakati saka ndichatovhota here. But then yeah.
Alright. Thank you.
Here. But my daughter was pushing to say, so what am I going? So eventually we've come, we've casted, and I'm happy I've done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you frustrated? Are you frustrated?
Definitely.
Yeah.
World over, I don't think you need to lose more than 30 minutes to an hour.
Thank you.
To vote. It should be that you just in, you're out. You don't need to spend 2 days. You don't even need to spend the whole morning or the whole afternoon. But I'm happy I've done that eventually, but definitely frustrated. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Generally, I'm very excited about the outcome of the election. It's very interesting that Kasukuwere is a newly opened constituency, firstly, and right now we are bringing in young people, young blood, and we're giving young blood the opportunity to actually lead. And I'm very proud that the residents never opted for materialism that was being given unto them, which come once in 5 years, but they chose to be sober-minded when they voted and voted for real change. And it's very interesting, even the councillors around did very well and they won with a huge margin. Even our MP, Pasho Rafael Spanda, he also did quite well and won against the old generation with a very interesting margin. So I think this comes even as an inspiration for young people that we can do it. We can make it, and I think this should inspire other young people even in the upcoming election. Let's participate. Let's not look down upon ourselves based on what we have, but let's hope for a better Zimbabwe, because at the end of the day, we are the leaders of tomorrow and we can change our country.
Inini zvekuti chakonzeresa chii handisi kuziva, asi tiri kuziva kuti tine vamwe vedu varohwa nekuti vauya kuno vakuenda kupolisi vadarika kuno on their way to report nyaya yavo police station. Saka kuti ndizonyatsotaura kuti zvatanga nepapi tichiri kuda kutsvaga chakonzeresa chii kuti paite chatangovabvunza ndechekuti madzosera here, vakati hatina kudzosera.
ZANU-PF inozikanwa iriyo inonge ichirova makore akawanda. Iko zvino mangurohwa makanyarara, chii chakonzera sekutaura kwamuri kuita kuti murohwe makanyarara? Imuri munonyanyozikanwa nekurova.
Chinonzi ZANU-PF chii?
Mutotiudza isu hatizivi tiri kunze.
Ino handichizivi, ndinoziva kuti ZANU-PF is a political party yakangofanana neZUM, yakangofanana neUZA, kuti ma-political parties. Saka kana taakutaura kuti ZANU-PF inorova, how structure yeZANU-PF yakamira sei? Ndoda kunzwisisa kana tichiti chii chinonzi ZANU-PF, nekuti munhu akamuka ari mubato reZANU-PF iri mbavha, mangwana omuka ari mubato reTriple-C iri mbavha, kunonzi Triple-C here, kunonzi ZANU-PF here, kana kuti kunonzi makomborero mulamba. Ndosaka ndaona kuti handingakwanisi kupindura ipapo. Isusu sevanhu takaudzwa nemunhu anova mutungamiri weZANU-PF, President Mnangagwa, anova mutungamiri wenyika ino yeZimbabwe, kuti hatidi noise, hatidi violence. Saka sevanhu takateerera, tatevedzera. So handisi kuziva pamuri kutaura kuti ZANU-PF tinoziva ichiita noise. Nderipi gore rakamboitwa noise neZANU-PF? Nekuti ZANU-PF dai yakaita noise, reference iripo ingadei iri kujeri. ZANU-PF ingadei iri kujeri. Asi vanhu vakaita noise, kana vanga varipo, ina hangu handivaziva, asi kana vanga varipo, ndinovimba vari kujeri, kana kuti vakatongoenda kujeri. Panguva yavatatu ndo vaenda kupolisi. So far handibvi muwadi yangu. Iyo haisi area of jurisdiction yandinotarisirwa kuti ndinge ndichinotarisa zvemaaffairs eko, asi vana sevagari vemunomu vangodarika vachitaura.
Okay, pane ma-allegations ekuti tazwa pane dzimba dzavakatoallocata municipality dzetu vari kuenda vachinonyorwa mazita muisa nevafoti vachivaudza kuti vafotera pati vanofanira kutoenda ane picha kunodzotafoterana.
Okay, no, izvozvo handisi kuzviziva. Ari kuzvitaura ndofunga ndiye ari kuzviita. Zvekuti mumadai kana kuti pane vanhu, hakuna chinonzi pane vanhu. Inini chandinoziva ndechekuti vari kuita izvozvo ndeveTriple-C. Vakagarapo, mukaenda mukatarisa ipapo pavari vane bhuku ravari kuita vachitika, vachimaka. Saka hatitauri nyaya dzemufananidzo wemubhaibheri, mufananidzo wemukushi wechichi tinotaura dziri kuitika. Avo vakagara vamakatarisa nemaziso enyu, vamuri kuona nemabhuku vachinyora, ndivo vetiri kusiya. VeZANU-PF vamuri kutaura ndevapi? Tinavo here? Munavo here vamaona kana pamba pamaona? Nekuti munomu tine dzimba dzakatikomberedza, hatingaputsi dzimba kuti tiri kuzoita election.
Sorry kanzi ndeta ngenda kudzosera mashure nazva pamataura kuti tanzwa kuti vakomana varohwa mukafunza kuti madzosera here. Is it like initiating that they should fight back, or what? What's your stand on issues to do with violence?
Dai vataura kuti vadzosera taitovasungisa ivo nekuti isusu vedu vakomana veZANU-PF takataurirwa napresident kuti chero ukarohwa haudzoseri, ndosaka kune mapurisa, malaw enforcers.
Thank you very much, Councillor, and wish you the best of luck.
Maita basa vablessing muhlanga, mufambe zvakanaka makudzokera kuHarare, munovaudza kuti ZANU-PF iri kukwekwe.
Ufu saka vanga vachinzi iwo wakapuwa ufu kana kwasaya neV11 rekuti wavhotera ZANU-PF vanokuteerera mudzimba manheru, which is clear intimidation. Isusu we thought kuti we are going to have a free and fair election, and today again vanhu vanga vachivhundutsirwa kuward 6 faz yanga ichitoita pamapolling station ichitoenda ichinoharasa vanhu maagents vachitobvunza kuti iwo haugari munomu, saka uri kudei, uri kuitirei agent panapa? Toda maagents evanhu vanogara panapa, of which agent wepolitical party hainei newe kana uri another political party. Isusu tinochuza maagents atinoda, and we are not there for kuti upira maagents edu, which is clear intimidation kuma citizens.
Let's just talk about the voting. Do you think that you're going to win this election?
I'm going to win the election. People were voting. People are tired. People came in the morning as early as 4 o'clock. People were already lined up to vote. Vote for change.
Your president?
Advocate Nelson Chamisa.
Is he going to win this election in your view?
In Kwekwe Central, Advocate Nelson Chamisa is going to win because all the citizens are rallying behind him. All the citizens, they are tired. All the citizens, they are hungry. They are voting just because of their situation, which they are facing in Zimbabwe. So everyone else is going to vote for Advocate Nelson Chamisa, and I'm pretty sure in Kwekwe Central is going to win with a resounding win, President Advocate Nelson Chamisa. And also I'm going to win with a resounding win in Kwekwe Central.
Maybe briefly you can tell us about the violence in the W section. I do understand that some of your members were involved in skirmishes with ZANU-PF members.
Yes. Group refers ratambotaura in organization on FAS yange yakaisa matables awo less than 300 meters kubva papolling station. Ndobva vaudza kuti vabvise matables awo vakati isusu we organization iriwo tiri maobservers, but some of them ndivo vanhu also vaifamba vachivhundutsira vanhu mucommunity. So macitizens ega ndo asvika akacomplain akati no, we can't have this table apa yevanhu vefaz, vanhu ava tiri mumusha vaifamba vachitivhundutsira. So navo vakuti maobservers echi ivo vaifamba mumusha vakapfeka regalia yeZANU-PF, navo vakuti maobservers efaz. Who is faz? Ufu saka vanga vachinzi iwo wakapuwa ufu kana kwasaya neV11 rekuti wavhotera ZANU-PF vanokuteerera mudzimba manheru, which is clear intimidation. Isusu we thought kuti we are going to have a free and fair election, and today again vanhu vanga vachivhundutsirwa kuward 6 faz yanga ichitoita pamapolling station ichitoenda ichinoharasa vanhu maagents vachitobvunza kuti iwo haugari munomu, saka uri kudei, uri kuitirei agent panapa? Toda maagents evanhu vanogara panapa, of which agent wepolitical party hainei newe kana uri another political party. Isusu tinochuza maagents atinoda, and we are not there for kuti upira maagents edu, which is clear intimidation kuma citizens.
Let's just talk about the voting. Do you think that you're going to win this election?
I'm going to win the election. People were voting. People are tired. People came in the morning as early as 4 o'clock. People were already lined up to vote. Vote for change.
Your president?
Advocate Nelson Chamisa.
Is he going to win this election in your view?
In Kwekwe Central, Advocate Nelson Chamisa is going to win because all the citizens are rallying behind him. All the citizens, they are tired. All the citizens, they are hungry. They are voting just because of their situation, which they are facing in Zimbabwe. So everyone else is going to vote for Advocate Nelson Chamisa, and I'm pretty sure in Kwekwe Central is going to win with a resounding win, President Advocate Nelson Chamisa. And also I'm going to win with a resounding win in Kwekwe Central.
Maybe briefly you can tell us about the violence in the W section. I do understand that some of your members were involved in skirmishes with ZANU-PF members.
Yes. Group refers ratambotaura in organization inonzi FAZ yengekesa matables awo less than 300 meters kubva papolling station. Ndobva vaudza kuti vabvise matables awo vakati isusu in organization tiri ma-observers, but some of them ndivo vanhu also vaifamba vachivhundudzira vanhu mucommunity. So ma-citizens ega ndo asvika akacomplain akati no, we can't have this table apa yevanhu veFAZ. Vanhu ava tiri mumusha vaifamba vachitivhundudzira. So navo vakuti ma-observers echi ivo vaifamba mumusha vakapfeka regalia yeZANU-PF. Navo vakuti ma-observers eFAZ. Who is FAZ?
Now there was anger over missing ballots in Wesley, in parts of Manicaland, in Blawa, where ZEC just literally failed to provide ballot papers for the people. Voting did not take place. And at some polling stations, voting failed to take place. It only started as late as 8 p.m. in the evening. Polling stations were supposed to open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. That did not happen. And there was anger. There was anger. But people were so determined to assert their right to vote. They were so determined that they sat there. Some of them actually brought braai stands, and they were braaiing at Hague Park, just in Melbourne. They were braaiing, waiting for ballot papers. And at one point, ballot papers actually came, but they were just so few. And the biggest issue that many people have been asking, especially the CCC spokesperson, the newly appointed CCC spokesperson, Promise Mkwananzi, was saying that ZEC released a schedule of how many ballot papers it had already printed and who had printed them. So the biggest question is, if ZEC was telling the truth about the number of ballot papers that it had printed, and it already printed them before the day of the election, then what caused the ballots to go missing? Now that's the biggest question. Earlier on, just a few hours ago, the Zimbabwe Republic Police called for a press conference, and in this press conference, the Zimbabwe Republic Police said it had cracked down on the Zimbabwe Elections Support Network and the ERC. Now they said these two organizations, who are accredited, by the way, by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission and are registered, by the way, as election observers and election support networks in this country, 40 personnel who work for them, including a minor, were arrested on allegations of parallel voter tabulation. Now the police say they were doing this as part of a strategy to aid CCC leader Nelson Chamisa in his bid to announce the results before ZEC does. So these 40 are currently being held by police in custody and are expected to appear in court this Friday, that is tomorrow. I spoke to the police commissioner, to the assistant commissioner and police spokesperson Paul Nyati, and I asked him, why did they arrest ZESNI and ERC officials who were doing almost the same thing that FAZ was doing, yet FAZ was not arrested? I spoke to him early this afternoon, and let's just listen to the press statement by the police and the question and answer that followed therein.
Civic organizations such as Zimbabwe Election Support Network, Election Resource Center, and Timpachel in relation to the ongoing electoral process in the country. This follows the raid. In actual fact, the Zimbabwe Republic Police received information
and then subsequently conducted a raid at Holiday Inn in Harare, and also at number 44 Down Avenue in Belgravia, and the number 27 Milton Park in Harare, and number 501 The Grange in Harare. What was happening was that the institutions had people who were coordinating the collection of information, the tabulation of information in relation to the voting statistics and also the counting of the votes. And this information was being fed particularly at Holiday Inn by somebody who was locked in a room, while the other person was in another room, and then it was being fed to a house in the Grange, which was then supplying this information through VPN for people to see, while others were also in Milton Park, others in Belgravia. So far, the Zimbabwe Public Police has recovered 93 smartphones, 38 laptops, 2 smartwatches, 2 modems, 1 Wi-Fi router, 1 external hard drive, Nokia about over 40 Nokia, what we officially call Kambudzi feature phones, some printers, and various computer chargers. And in the process, we've arrested 41 suspects, who include a minor, who are currently assisting the Zimbabwe Public Police with investigations. And we also want to appeal to Zimbabweans. We want to appeal to individuals, to syndicates or civic organizations to conduct lawful activities as per their registration. If an organization, if an organization is registered to conduct a particular activity, then they must conduct that activity in terms of the country's laws. We are also aware that this was also part of some politicians' strategy, like what was announced by the TCC leader, that they were going to announce the results by the 24th of August 2024, and this was part of the strategy. And we are also aware that the information which they were receiving, it was being coordinated through some observers and also some political party agencies who were deployed at the polling station. As the police, we have got a constitutional mandate to protect the country's internal security. So there's no going back in terms of maintenance of law and order in the country. We wanted to urge Zimbabweans that as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission finalizes the voting process and the counting of the ballots, Zimbabweans should remain peaceful and wait for the official election results. In this regard, there is no gathering in polling stations which is going to be allowed by the police. The law is very clear, whether it's the Electoral Act, whether it's the Maintenance of the Order and Peace Act, no gatherings are allowed at polling stations. At the same time, I want to thank Zimbabweans for the peace which was exhibited during the pre-election period and the election period. We hope and plead with the Zimbabweans that this conduct should continue as we go into the post-election period. Maybe I may take 1 or 2 questions. Clear, if you go according to the provisions of the Electoral Act, anyone who does anything which is intended towards announcing the election results when they are not part of the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, definitely they'll be committing an offense. So as we conduct investigations, we are finalizing the charges which the suspects will be facing. We are concerned as the Zimbabwe Public Police, as the voting process was getting underway, we ensured that no one interfered with the voting process, irrespective of that particular person or institution's stature or status. And this is what obtained yesterday throughout the country. Where reports were coming to the police, police acted swiftly, and this is on record. I'll take the last 2. People also went to the police and they made a report to say their car had also been stoned. And when both parties went to the police, then the police said, can we make efforts to resolve this issue? And the candidate said, no, I can no longer feel safe to leave the police station. He remained at the police station until a certain time he left the police station. So you find that with our record, the issue of the alleged petrol bomb has not been recorded. But people go on to the public, tell the public something which has not happened. The same again applied in Warren Park, where people were claiming that a certain man had died while he's in a queue. But in actual fact, the man is at hospital, he has not died. So that's why we're saying, we also plead with some of our political leaders. When they want to communicate with their supporters, when they want to communicate with them, please tell the people the truth. Where something has happened, tell people the truth. In the process, we are assisting the police in the maintenance of law and order in the country, rather than grandstanding or lie. The Maintenance of Order and Peace Act comes into effect when we look at the issue of gatherings. Gatherings have to be clear. And we are aware that, for example, Team Pachedi have told people to gather at 301 meter radius of a polling station. That is illegal. As long people are gathered and that has not been sanctioned by a local regulatory authority, that is an unlawful gathering. And there are no negotiations to that effect. Thank you very much. I'll take Antonio and Conisan, then that's enough. Yeah, the last one.
Asco, I just need to have a clarity from you. We understand that that's the announcement of the results, because they've got accredited observers that are obviously going to be collecting results across all the polling stations, because I know more than 100 of these have been accredited by SEC to do this work. So at this moment and stage, you've arrested them for what crime exactly? For collecting the results or for announcing the results? We need to understand.
I'm not speaking on behalf of the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, but as for the country's laws, anyone who does anything has to do that particular activity according to the country's laws. And as the police, once a report has been made, we have to conduct investigations and ensure that the due process of the law are followed. And there is no negotiations when it comes to...
So which offense exactly?
You will see when they appear in court. You will see the charges. Definitely the charges are there. You will see when the charges are being reviewed in court. But as far as I'm concerned, they have contravened the country's laws, so the due process of the law must be allowed to take effect.
I'll take his question again and rephrase it. No one is arrested to be investigated. Are you arresting these guys so you can investigate and establish a case for them? Why I say so? You indicated that you are investigating that they breached the Electoral Act and that they interfering with the election. Which part of the election were they interfering with? Which was different from what FARS was doing at the polling station where elections are being held, and people who are at a hotel where there is no voting itself or they are not interacting with the voters. Can you kindly clarify on that line?
In terms of the Electoral Act, we're supposed to announce the election results. We're supposed to collect the voting statistics.
So
with regard to that, may I duly refer colleagues to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission if you want to seek further clarity in terms of how the voting process is handled. But as far as we are concerned as the police, if a report is made, we will certainly investigate and effect arrest. As far as we are concerned, a crime has been committed and the due process of the law, the laws of the country must be allowed to take effect. We have not arrested to investigate, but we have conducted investigations because we've got credible information. Are you aware that some of the people, for example, in Milton Park, they are registered as a medical institution, not as observers? So that's why I'm saying let's avoid using emotions. Let us look at what has happened and allow the due process of the law to be followed. Lastly, Leo.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about FARS, but
I will let it slide. I just want confirmation. We hear that Airport North CCC candidate Zvenet who was arrested. Is it true?
I need to check with the police officers on the ground and then come back to you, his colleagues.
Triple C is unrelenting. It is so far the only political party that has been holding press conferences and press briefs since polls started. ZANU-PF has been mum, but its officials and some of those who are linked to it have been posting on social media platforms. Now, ZANU-PF has not been saying much, but the Triple C has declared that it is winning the presidential poll comfortably. And they say that any result that does not reflect them as winners would be fake. In fact, Promise Mkwananzi warned Zek, saying, "We are watching you." Let's listen. Let's take a listen.
We are watching Zek, and we hope that Zek is going to do the right thing. So far, the information we have is that we are leading on the presidential election comfortably, and we are doing well on the parliamentary elections. We expect this trend to continue because the people of Zimbabwe have decided that they want change. And the expression of that desire for change is going to come through the victory of the Citizens Coalition for Change and President Nelson Chamisa.
Now we will continue to follow the story, we'll continue to bring you updates, and we'll continue to talk to you about this election. And we are going to probably bring you a live session with analysts and on the panel where we will discuss the legalities and illegalities of this poll as it unravels. But this is, and this will always be, the Free Talk in proud partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation. But just to give you a bit of some heads up, in Norton, Themba Mliswa, the independent candidate, lost to Richard Tsvangirai, the son of the former premier of this country, Morgan Tsvangirai. Nelson Chamisa has also announced that his party won seats in Lupane East and West, Nkai South, and Cholocho North. And interestingly, in areas that are supposed to be the heart of the Triple C or the heart of the opposition, which include Epworth, Mbare, ZANU-PF appears to have clawed back and won Mbare constituency, flowing Starman Chamisa, who was the sitting member of parliament and also the returning candidate for the Triple C. What has also been amazing in this election is that the Triple C has managed, or its supporters managed, to vote for the preferred candidates of the party in almost all constituencies where they had double nominations and double candidates, and they managed to win those, except those where results have not been announced yet, which include Harare East, where Harare West, where Joanna Mamumbe is a candidate, among others who are termed fake candidates by the party. In Chitungwiza, supporters managed to vote for the candidate that the party said is the right candidate that they had put forward. Now, this election continues to unravel. ZEC is yet to start announcing the presidential results, and we will be following this, bringing some of it live to your phones, to your TVs, and to all across all our platforms. Now, this is the Free Talk in proud partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation for Freedom, and we are for diversity of views, and we are for ensuring that people are informed and are well aware of what is happening. Information is power. I am your host as usual, and as always, Dara B. Until next time, thank you for joining me.
Nana baba ndimi makaramba kuterera mashoko zvinodiwa namusiki chiona